I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 225 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know the drill by now. Please head over to our Instagram page, which is SZN Pod, and our Twitter page, which is SZN Podcast. The link in the bio of both of those platforms that will take us where we're situated at streaming-wise. So please, if you like your audio, you've got the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast links there. Please make sure you follow and subscribe. And then also you've got the YouTube channel there as well if you prefer the visuals. So again, like, subscribe, interact with us, give us a shout out, whatever you fancy, guys. Much appreciated. Flowz, hope you're good. Hope you're keeping warm.
Yeah, bro. Freezing out here. Windy.
Yeah, windy and free, nasty weather. Nasty weather.
Mad.
Boxing. Probably say quite an eventful weekend in terms of the fights that we saw. Some good fights that we saw, some good debuts and divisions and whatnot, Flowz. Let's do what we normally do, right? Let's take it from the top. We like to start from the home card normally. Let's go with that. It was a Queensbury card, right? The Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
Over at Wembley Arena.
Wembley.
Over Wembley, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Over Wembley. This was headlined by the British title fight of Denzel Bentley versus Brad Pauls. But before we get to the main event, Flowz, let's start with some of the supporting acts. I tuned in, Flowz, from good old David Adeleye. That's when I tuned in. That's when I tuned into the card, Flowz. David Adeleye is when I tuned in versus Soul Dacres. Yeah, man, Flowz. Obviously, we both predicted a win for Adeleye, and we both wanted Adeleye to win. And what can we say, Flowz? I thought Adeleye would win. I was expecting this fight to go into a couple more rounds, right, Flowz? But David Adeleye, he said it himself, right, Flowz? He's a knockout specialist. He bangs people out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and he wasn't lying. He wasn't capping. There was no cap in his reps because he landed, he's dropped Dacres in one round and stopped him in one round. Simple. Easy peasy, Flowz. Yeah. Shout out to David Adeleye, man. What a G. He backed up his talk. And yeah, look, Flowz, you get fighters all the time that pick up their power. I like to always, lean towards Tony Bellew, who loves to go on about his power, right? And whatnot. And to be fair to David Adeleye, you can see he's very powerful, right, Flowz? He does have a high knockout ratio. Obviously, you could say the quality of the position might not be the best, but for the most part, if he lands cleanly, you're going to feed it. And you can testament to his power, Flowz. This shot, David Adeleye started great. He started positive, he started aggressive. New coach with Alan Booth, who's a highly respected trainer I rate highly. Very, very respected trainer in the British boxing game. So this was his first fight since, over a year, I think, since the Wardley loss. Yeah, he started super confident, Flowz, way more confident than Soul, who I think once he felt the power, Soul kind of was a bit of deer in the headlights. But the shot itself, Flowz, it wasn't even a clean shot. It was one of those shots that landed on the temple, sort of grazing shots. And then we know, obviously, in boxing, Flowz, those type of shots can be debilitating for the equilibrium of a boxer, right? It can really make you off balance and whatnot. But the fact, like I said, it was a grazed shot that did that sort of damage kind of shows a testament to the power that Adeleye has. And he packed up Soul Dacres, man. Got him out of there. Quick. Easy night's work.
Yeah. Shout out to David Adeleye. I think this was a perfect outcome for him. And for the trajectory, he loves using that term as well. The trajectory he's on.
Yeah,
I think it's perfect for him. Go out there and like for a comeback fight, you stepped in there with someone that's meant to be the level playing field as you. Didn't take a tune up or warm up. Got him on out the way in the first round, and yeah, grazing shot. When I saw it immediately, I was like, "What?" Because let's not sugarcoat it. Soul Dacres was gone.
Yeah, bro, cooked. Legs gone.
His eyes,
gone.
his face went down. I was like, as soon as it seemingly connected,
Yeah.
And his reaction, you knew it was a wrap. You knew he wasn't getting up. And like you say, it didn't really land. It looked like he caught him at the top of, I don't know where he landed. It looked like he caught him at the
Top
top
of
of
the
the head.
temple or something. Yeah.
Top of the
One
head.
of them ones.
But it scrambled that man's brain. Nothing was functioning. And yeah, look, that's what we needed for David. I needed to build his confidence. I'll quickly rant to the comments. And people,
Yeah,
not so
because
much giving him too much credit, but they liked what they saw. They liked the stoppage. And I think the discussion was a lot of people were saying, so they took a dive where it was rigged. Did you see those?
Yikes. I didn't see that,
Well, that's
I
what
went
I've
there
seen.
searching for the comments because obviously I know beforehand, David Adeleye, based on how his demeanor, right, flows, how confident he is,
Yeah.
he's not liked. Like before the fight,
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying, I can't wait for David to lose. This, that. Dacres will give him a boxing lesson. He's going to cook him. He's going to fry him. Adeley's not a level. Obviously, David Adeleye he took the big game and he backed his chat. We love to see it. So I was there putting the comments trying to see, okay, let's see the usual boxing fan U-turn. Oh, always liked it. As you said, Flowz, always liked him. Confidence. I like fighters confident, this, that.
Yeah.
So obviously I saw those comments and then thinking, I'm sure you weren't saying that before. If he had lost now, he would have been killed.
Yeah.
Absolutely slaughtered. So make sure you give him the same credit for when he wins. But yeah, to see comments about, as you say, about the fight being rigged and Dacres taking a dive. Let's just give credit to Adeleye, man. He beat him fair and square.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of people were already jumping to David Adeleye's defense, saying, "No way is that dive, no way is that rigged. Look at the way he went down. There's no reason to rig that. You can't fake that," which is all true. So we don't really need to dwell on it too much. The fans have handled that. The boxing heads have handled that. But yeah, great win for David Adeleye. Onwards and upwards. I need to see more of him chatting. I need him to. Yeah, like we said last week, pulling up to press conferences. I need his confidence sky. So yeah.
What for you, Flowz? What next in terms of opponent wise? I mean, is it too soon for a Fraser Clark? We've got the run for Ball. We know he's fighting Dave Allen next. He's fighting Dave Allen soon. Is that a potential opponent for him as well? Do you have an idea in terms of at domestic level? Because I think he's still at domestic level. Is it one of those two, maybe?
Could be. Obviously, him and Fraser Clark have had their back and forth before. So that's a fight I would like to see down the line. I don't know. Some might say he's not ready for a Fraser Clark. Some might say that, but
I feel like
I think that's a big clash.
Better than a Fraser Clark for him personally, but it's a big clash. I don't know.
You think you should go for the Romford Ball over?
Yeah, I think if you're picking between the two, I'll go for Johnny Fisher over Fraser Clark. I think Fraser Clark might be a bit, despite the fact that he's probably had less fights, just his experience. The fact that he took Wardley to deep waters kind of shows that Fraser Clark. To be fair, I gave Clark credit in terms of he impressed me again in that first fight with Wardley. So he showed me that he can hang at that level. I'm not too sure David is there. I don't think he's quite there yet. Whereas a Johnny Fisher, I feel like might be better off for him. Personally, if I'm picking between the two, I'll say Johnny Fisher.
I would rather see him against the Babbage or someone,
Babbage, okay. I was to say I don't know if Babbage is still around, but
Babbage I don't know if he is. Bring him out. I liked. Look, I don't want to derail this train right now. I want us to ride this wave of David Adeleye winning. So I want him to have a credible opponent. But someone if he's expected to, I'd expect him to beat. I want to throw him in a 50-50 just yet.
First, if he beats Babbage, then it makes sense for Fisher because we know Fisher got Babbage out there in 36 seconds, right? So if he does the same treatment to Babbage, then it's gonna make sense. Yeah.
So there's options out there, man. There's definitely options. And look, shout out to Sol Dacres, man, as well. Hopefully he's all good.
Yeah, hopefully he bounces back. It must be tough. All that work, all that camp. Don't forget he's waited for this fight twice.
Yeah.
Only for it to get spun out there in one round. It's gonna be tough. But he's young enough to come again. I'm sure he would learn from that. And he can come again, definitely.
Yeah. Gorman, where's Gorman at?
Gorman
still,
No, I haven't seen Gorman in a while, but yeah.
I don't know where he's at, but bring him out.
That's a bring him out. Cool. Let's move on to the next fight on the card, which was another rapid affair. Lawrence Okolie making his heavyweight debut against, I think, Muhamed Hussein. I think his opponent was. Yeah, I think his opponent was undefeated. But yeah.
One loss, was it 18-1 or something?
Or was it one? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know he had like a on paper
a good record. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Lawrence Okolie, given the fact that he was the WBC Bridgeweight champion, for WBC have sort of thrown him a bone and given like a high ranking straight away, obviously, because he's coming up from a division and he was their champion. Look, as expected, Flowz, Lawrence Okolie dispatched this guy quickly, did him in one round. The classic Lawrence Okolie right hand. Once that lands, it's usually night-night. So yeah, good win for Okolie. This is not his first fight with Joe Gallagher, is it? I can't remember if it is.
Maybe the last one, surely.
Maybe, yeah, actually, yeah. Maybe. The last one probably was with Joe Gallagher, yeah. So, yeah, he started. Joe Gallagher said to aim for Lawrence to try and get him into a more fan-friendly style. We've heard that one before, right, Flowz? But yeah, man, Okolie looked. It's hard to break this one down, Flowz, because he was a mismatch, to be honest. Just Okolie looked. I genuinely don't know how this body was making cruiserweight, Flowz. Because the difference in size now, look, he looks like a natural heavyweight, Flowz. Natural heavyweight, it's crazy. And he did say before he had issues making cruiserweight, it was getting really tough for him. So yeah, at least he can be free in this weight class. I think Flowz Okolie's a good addition to the division.
Yeah,
like I said he's got the size, he's got the power, the reach, the length, all that kind of stuff. And even though they're trying to move away from his villainous style, that's still a style that he can probably lean back on to make him difficult to beat. Yeah. So yeah, I do think it's a good addition to the division, Flowz, and I look forward to seeing him get in the mix. I know he said he wants to fight guys like Dylan White. That's a grudge match, to be fair, which is why he called him out. Even Adeleye was talking to a potential opponent, but I don't think that's going to be right for him. I think Okolie's probably further ahead based on the fact that he's got a lot of experience in 2 weight classes. But yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, Okolie. He'd probably get eliminated soon, to be honest, because he's high up in the W. That's for, I think, for a WBC silver belt or something like that. So he's already got ranking with the WBC. So don't be surprised to see him in some eliminators or work his way up to a title shot quickly.
Just on the fight as well. He got him out of there in the first round, but it was cracking me up early on. I think after the first minute or so, I think Okolie kind of settled into a more. Yeah, he kind of settled because early on it was like it looked a bit scrappy in like the first 30 seconds or so. There was a few clinches, through punches in the clinches and whatnot, and I was cracking up. But then he settled mid-range, firing off his jab, and got Buddy out of there. So look, done what he needed to do in terms of his size and shape. Like heavy, I was watching with my wife and I was like, oh, he's so big, and I was like, yeah, he's like heavyweight now. They don't need to make weight, so there's no cutting of weight. But to me, it looks like that's what he's walking around with. He looks like he put on weight. It doesn't look like he's walking around weight. He didn't look in too much, because he cruiserweight, he looks in great shape, cruiserweight. But you could see that he's naturally bigger than that. So for me, it looks like he's put on weight, and he didn't. I'm not going to say he didn't train, but he's looked like he's put on a bit too much weight. Yeah, a bit too fleshy, rather than just train and come in that he's walking weight or look, but rather than cutting, he's gained weight. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see how his weight
probably obviously first
manages
fight. Yeah, first fight of the division. It can be like that sometimes. I think as he settles in the division, he could probably have better camps and more dedicated camps to his shape and whatnot. So that's probably what that is.
Yeah, well, his whole come up story was that he was a chubby boy, big boy. So but it must be nice for the first time in a long time to tuck into food, have to make weight, indulge in it.
Bro, he said it's been key for him.
So look, I'm not mad at it, but I think once he steps in the competition, make sure his condition and all that is top tier. He looks a bit fleshy to me.
Fairs. There was a nice win flows for, I don't know if you caught the Noakes Walsh fight, but nice win for Sam Noakes. That's an up and coming British lightweight. He looked very, very classy in there against Walsh. Kind of won every round, to be honest, pieced him up. I didn't realize how old Walsh was, Flores. I didn't know he was 38. Yeah, super, super old. But yeah, Walsh did his Noakes did his thing. So shout out to Sam Noakes. Let's talk about it's just a main event left now, isn't it, Flores?
Yeah, main event, yeah.
And what a great main event it was, Flores. I thoroughly enjoyed this fight. Brad Pauls, Denzel Bentley. Quality fight flows. As we said, these British title fights means more. First of all, Flores, I'm gonna credit both fighters. Denzel Bentley, obviously following through his career flows and not, I wouldn't say I've massively rated him for his career flows, to be honest, but I can see flows that with Bentley, he's improved so much. Like he gets better, he's not the same Bentley of back then, the Bentley that lost to Heaney, for example, or even the Bentley that got schooled, I guess, by Janebek, which he was expected to get schooled, but yeah. I think Denzel Bentley has definitely come on leaps and bounds flows and definitely improved as a fighter as he's gained more experience. So big up to Denzel Bentley for that. But I also want to big up Brad Pauls flows. What a G he is, man. What a G. That never say die attitude. Bentley was definitely, I guess you can see, the better boxer in there, the sharper boxer. But there were times where it flows where Pauls might get pieced up and he'll just respond. That never say die attitude, that never give up attitude, which we've seen before, obviously, because we saw him in the first Heaney fight. Pauls kind of dragged himself back into it after a really fast start from Heaney. And again, he showed that stubbornness flows and that will to win, again, to turn this into a really competitive and entertaining fight flows. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I like the fact that Pauls didn't take it laying down flows. He was active as well. So yeah, quality fight, clash of styles. Pauls did his best work when he was up in close, whilst Bentley looked a lot more comfortable. Bentley looked a lot more comfortable on the outside flows, piecing them up with his jab. But the fact that Pauls was able to, in portions, turn it into a scrap, turn it into a dogfight, it really, really said a lot, flows, to how good he is and just how tough he is as a boxer. So yeah, big respect to both guys. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. We say British title fights are always enjoyable. Always come to scrap. Yeah, the fight kind of went how I expected, in the sense that Denzel was the more skilled boxer. And even early on, Denzel was having a lot of success. I can see him landing. And I was just thinking, I was saying, we were in a group chat, I was saying in a group chat, I like this from Bentley, but I don't really trust him to not let Pauls gain confidence. That if this fight goes into the second round, and if he starts allowing Pauls to close the gap, start landing shots, giving away shots, not defending effectively, then Pauls is going to gain confidence, and it's going to start looking peak towards the later rounds if Bentley don't sharpen up. And honestly, that's the way the fight started to go, really. Pauls was gaining confidence. He was closing the gap. It was back and forth in the sense that you have a good round, I have a good round in the middle portions. So that was what made it super exciting. And even, like you say, when Bentley would land a big shot and back, Pauls up, Pauls with him like, nah, I ain't going.
Yeah.
Come back and start firing again. And I think we saw in the 10th round now.
Yep.
A jab to Pauls' eye. It was a jab. Essentially, it was a jab which seemed to go in his eye or really affect his eye.
It was odd. It actually looked quite painful watching it from home.
Yeah,
I'm there thinking, yeah, bro. Like I thought, it looked like he got him right in the eye, pushed his eye back, and that to me was like, oh, so awful. Yeah,
it looked it wasn't like a super hard shot, but it looked like something caught him in the eye and it was really painful. And he takes a knee, and you can see him visibly, his eye closing, blinking, and at that point it looked like that's kind of sealed the deal for Denzel Bentley at this point, because whatever steam Pauls was getting and whatever hell he was gonna rain in the last 2 rounds, seemed like this is gonna get taken out of him. And as beats the count, gets up, Bentley tries to unload on him and Pause is really just surviving. 30 seconds left or so, he's just surviving, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of peak. He could go here, but he didn't go. Then 11th, he's not going. He's not going.
Bro, and so stubborn.
Yeah, that's where I started. I was just giving him credit to 11 and 12. I was just like, Bentley's winning at this point. He's winning these rounds, but Paul simply isn't going. He's getting hurt, backing off, then fighting back, coming forward.
Yeah,
and it made for a good ending. When you thought, this is gonna be done, Paul's like, nah, it's not done. I'm a warrior.
Bro, was it even 11th when Denzel? I mean, it might have been 10th, but like when Denzel's unloaded to try and get him out there, punch himself out or whatever. You got the last 30 seconds of the round. Yeah, Paul's come on strong. It's all crazy.
Yep.
And I've loved seeing, you, as a fan, you love seeing that, right, Flowz? The crowd was going crazy. It was super exciting to see. And again, we know this with Brad Pauls because we've seen it before. But to do it, like I said, when the chips are down, to repeatedly do it, he has something inside him, Flowz. He's got that dog in him. That dog, for real. So he was not going to let Denzel just run away with it, Flowz. He was going to say, okay, cool. You're going to beat me, you're going to have to work. And he worked.
Yeah, it worked. We'll fight even before the knockdown. There was portions where Bentley was getting caught repeatedly.
Yep.
And I was just like, and there's portions where Bentley's looking slick.
Yep. And this is my issue with Bentley sometimes, Flowz. I feel like you can see he's got the skills. The skills are there. But he switches off in fights and he lets his opponent get to him somehow. And previously, Flowz, in previous fights, it's come to bite him in the ass. Obviously, he was able to survive this time. But yeah, Denzel is clearly very, very capable boxer, Flowz. Clearly very, very skilled. But it's just that switching off part that annoys me about him sometimes. Hopefully he can really iron that out, because if he wants to get to the next level, that can't be happening so frequently. It really can't.
Yeah. And it's been my issue with him, and I mentioned it last episode that I expect him to win, but he just struggles when he shouldn't. He switches off when he shouldn't. He gets caught when he shouldn't. It makes fights seem tougher than his actual ability. But another great win for him. He's like British title holder for like the third time now or something. So onwards and upwards for him. He's always in the entertaining fights. That's one thing we can't ever take away from him. Always in super entertaining scraps.
For sure.
Give anyone a bit of trouble.
Flowz, Brad Paul's come again, man. We'll see you again. Very, very excited to see. Come again, man. Heaney was in attendance as well, Flowz. Obviously, he's beaten he's beaten Bentley before. So I think he was talking about how he wants to fight Bentley again. But I think Bentley's looking upwards in terms of maybe challenging for a title again, maybe fighting Janibek again. I don't know. But yeah, man, very, very entertaining fights. Good British level, Flowz. Very, very good British level. So yeah, man, I really enjoyed that main event. Good card overall, Flowz, to be honest. Good card.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got the prediction right. And obviously I went Pauls, he went Bentley.
Oh, yeah.
1-0 you. However,
got your get back.
Flowz, as we're now going to segue over to America, we've seen Richardson Hitchins versus Liam Paro, Flowz. And obviously you went for Paro, I went for Hitchins. I watched this fight, Flowz, and I'll be so real to you, Flowz. The first 3 rounds, I was frustrated as hell. I was so annoyed with Richardson Hitchins. I was frustrated as hell.
Yeah.
Because, Flowz, I'm seeing this opening. Bro, it's off. It's the 4th round we kicked into the gear because his team.
They told him they switched, but
bro, they switched. But anyways, I think it was from round 4 where he finally woke up. But at least definitely those first 3 rounds, Flowz, I was getting frustrated. I'm seeing Richardson Hitchins clearly have the tools to beat this guy from the outside, Flowz. Richardson Hitchins, if you're not familiar with him, highly rated prospect coming out of America from New York. For the division, Flowz, you can see he's got the size, he's got the reach, he's got the jab, he's got the boxing skills. He's very, very slick in there. And I expected him to win this fight from the outside, Flowz, using his range, his jab, and his superior footwork. I'm watching Liam Paro. Now Richardson Hitchins, based on the Lemos fight, I guess, the weakness for him was seen as pressure fighters, right? Guys who apply pressure. Because against Gustavo Lemos, he looked awful. Awful. One of the reasons why I think you picked Paro is because it's just based on his last fight, Hitchins looked terrible. Lemos applied the pressure from the jump, and it looked like Hitchins didn't like it. So Paro was always going to come with that game plan, Flowz, and he was stepping to Hitchins. But the pressure from Paro, to me, I'm looking at it thinking to myself, this pressure's not all that.
Yeah,
You're good enough. It wasn't pressure. It wasn't really pressure.
Yeah.
And Hitchins is good enough to pick this guy off from the jab when he's outside. But also, Flowz, he was just waiting. The right hand, Flowz, his right hand, which is good, was there all this time, Flowz, for him to land it. But instead of firing it off at will with confidence, Flowz, it was like he was just waiting. And he was losing rounds because of this, Flowz. So I was getting so frustrated. And clearly, Flowz, his corner felt the same. Because I think in that fourth round, or it might have been the fifth round, I can't remember, Flowz, his corner sat him down and laid into him. And basically said, what the hell are you doing?
It's both rounds, bro. Fourth and fifth, they was switched
bro. Yeah. What are you doing? The right hand is there. Fire that thing off. Like, don't get sucked into this fight, but they switched it on him. And then Flowz, after this kick up the backside, we see the switch immediately from Richard Hitchins, where he's come out a lot more aggressive now. He's throwing off the combinations. And every time he fired off his combinations, Flowz, with the right hand to finish it off, he was getting the better of the scraps, to me. Paro, it didn't seem like he liked that right hand, Flowz. Hitchins was able to just give him a bit of a boxing lesson, Flowz, and boxing from the outside, jabbing from the outside. 1-2 combination, 1-2-3-4 combination, step back out with his footwork, which was superior. And then Flowz, from that moment, Flowz, Hitchins took complete control of his fight, Flowz. And to me, he kind of ran away with it. I think I scored it in the end 8-4 in favor of Hitchins. 116, 112, I think that is. Yeah, so I kind of, gave it to Hitchins based on after he had that kick up the backside. But Flowz, I was so annoyed, frustrated watching those first couple of rounds because it's like, bro, this guy is there for you. The opener's there for you. What are you doing? Stop being patient. Stop being tentative. Stop pouring at the jab. Go for it. This is not how you take a champion's belt. You have to rip the belt from them. Be aggressive. And thankfully, it was Flowz.
Yeah, I saw the result the next day. And I'm about to sneeze then. I saw the result the next day, and I see the scores, and I'm like, okay.
One of those scorecards, bro. Boy.
Yeah. I didn't even clock it at first. I thought, okay, sounds like a
travesty.
It looks like a convincing win for Hitchins. And then I looking again, I saw split decision. I was like, okay. And two varied, one's gigantic for Paro. I was like, okay. And then I'm trying to read a few of the comments, and everyone had it in favor of Hitchins, and no one screaming robbery, really. So I was like, okay, let me see what's this about. I'm watching the first 3-4 rounds, and I'm confused as hell as to what's going on.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, Hitchins must have kicked into gear or something. Because he was waiting. He wasn't letting his hands. Now look, I think the second round was close, but for me, both Paro was landing effective shots and was being busier.
He was winning at the time, Flowz, based on activity.
Yeah,
through activity. Yeah,
he was the one stepping forward. He was the one coming forwards.
Yep.
Hitchins was moving backwards, avoiding, and he wasn't letting his hands go. And Paro was throwing more and maybe landing. It wasn't high punches landed across the fight. It wasn't super high. But he was being busier and he was landing clean, effective shots. And so was Hitchins, but he just wasn't throwing enough. And for me, obviously, Paro being a southpaw, Hitchins, orthodox, there was a tentative battle of the front foot and the jabs. Yeah. And I'll give Paro credit here. Anytime Hitchins let his jab go, he'd fire his back right over. If he gets caught, he's firing his right back over. Yeah. And there would be exchanging jabs in that sense, and almost using it as counter shots on each other.
Yeah.
And then I think kick up the backsides. There was a lot of voices in Hitchins' corner. You see him looking out the ring, bare to Belanga, to someone else.
He was distracted a little bit. Yeah.
And His corner, his trainer having to wait while he's talking to someone else. You know me, I don't like that as such.
Yeah.
But it seemed to kick him into gear. What his trainer was saying was, look, you're letting him win rounds because he's busier than you. He's walking forwards. You've got to let your hands go. And when he starts doubling up on the jab, tripling up on it, stepping back when he needs to, letting go of that right hand, the most important thing. It was the 1-2 really that was winning the fight. He wasn't hooks or body shots or breaking him down. It was just effective use of that 1-2 and seeing Paro's game plan where Paro's really just trying to come over his shot and starting to back up Paro, land sweeter shots that make me go, ooh. So I think I scored it a bit closer. I actually scored it 113, 115.
Okay. I can see that.
I think there was 2 close rounds that you could maybe give to Hitchins or 10-10. I gave to Paro just because I thought Paro stole it at the end of those 2 rounds. I think he stole those 2 rounds.
I definitely gave Paro the 12th round for sure.
Yeah. So,
but I think Paro knew himself he needed a knockout, so he pushed for it. But yeah.
But I think from 7th for that 5th, 6th rounds onwards, still competitive rounds, but Hitchins was winning. He stepped on the gas, he took up a notch that Paro couldn't really keep up. And while he didn't fade, he didn't give up, he was still landing shots himself. He wasn't winning the rounds. It's as simple as that.
The scorecards, obviously 2 judges had it 116, 112, which is basically why I had it. And then a judge had it 117, 111 for Paro, hence the SD. Obviously, that 117, 111 score, crazy. Obviously, a lot of people were in uproar over that one. But end of the day, the right man won Flowz in Richardson Hitchins. He's a new champion at 140 now. And it was a great, like I said, I haven't seen this guy Flowz for a while now. You know, I really rate him. I think he's skill-wise up there with a lot of them, some of the best. He just needs to show it. And he's shown it now by beating Paro, who has been, as you said, Flowz, on a great run, an amazing run, to be honest, beating champions, and just underdog twice, came through that twice, very underrated boxer in his own right. So, I have no qualms. I know Liam Paro will come again, Flowz. He's a very, very good fighter, and he just lost to the better man of the day. Again, Hitchins being a champion, Flowz, is nice for the division. Again, another young, hungry lion as champ, one who knows all these other guys. We saw him call out Teofimo Flowz. Obviously, they're both from Brooklyn. Teofimo's a champion as well. If they can get that, I have my doubts, but if they could get that out on the New York, Barclays Center or whatever, to unify both their titles, that would be great, I think, for the division. Also would like to see him, obviously him and Devin they've had a lot of needle as well, him and Devin Haney. So that is also something that we could potentially see. So there's options there for him, Flowz. Jack Catterall as well, another option, based on obviously the fact that they're both matchroom fighters. So, man, another great addition. Hitchins is one of those guys that, I said up and coming. He's someone that we can look at. I think I've got him on our prospect list. I think I put him on there, don't I? Might have.
Should be.
But, he should be. But he's another one that's, we spotted from early, Flowz, and he's fulfilled his promise. World champion. So, man, there's a lot of guys like that. It's good to, similar to David Adeleye, Flowz. Before this fight, obviously, because Hitchins is very confident and cocky and whatnot, they were saying, Liam, I can't wait for Liam to kill him, this, that. I went and checked the comments. A lot of people were silent. A lot of those guys, they were saying, Paro's going to destroy this guy. They weren't around no more. It's always funny when the villain wins, right, Flowz? I always find it hilarious. But, I look forward to seeing where to next for Hitchins, whether it's someone like Teofimo, whether it's Devin Haney, whether it's Jack Catterall. But he's announced himself in the mix now, Flowz. Not going back.
Yeah.
And he's tough to beat, Flowz. He's got, as I said, he's got the skills, he's got the size. He's good, man. He's very good.
Yeah, he's got the tools. He's tall. He's probably taller than most of these, man. Got the reach on them. Yeah, it was a good fight. I think Paro good account for himself. Good performance. I'm not sure how the judge scored it that way. Very unsure. I think the best you could even try to do is give it a draw. But that's the best you could try and do. Anyway. right man won.
Yeah.
I would like to see Paro versus Kambosos. I think that would be a
Great
good
fight for
fight.
Australia. Yeah.
For Hitchins next, I don't really know if he wants to go for Tiafimo next. That would be a great fight, but it is a jump. Tiafimo is an enigma. He's like the new Tyson Fury for me. Real enigma. On his day, unplayable.
Yep. On his day, the flow is delightful.
On his day.
But my gosh, when he's on his day, stinker. Oh my gosh.
He's dropped some clangers. So I don't really know. Which I guess makes it always interesting. But yeah, this division's really taking shape now. The newcomers are all stepping up. It's super exciting. So we'll see how it goes. One thing I think Hitchins needs to do is that corner focus on what you're doing, because even at 11th round, do you see him switching his corner and say he was like, "Oh yeah, I got this. I know I'm up. I'm up." And
yep.
Look what almost happened.
There's a bit of I hate to say it, Flowz. I'm not trying to give him this tag, but those first couple of rounds and just his overall distraction, how distracted he was, Flowz. I was seeing shades of Adrian Broner. I can't lie, Flowz. He didn't want to let his hands go. He was content with doing the slick stuff. He wasn't really focusing. I'm there thinking, boy, don't you blow it. Don't blow it. So I'm happy he didn't blow it, but yeah, you're right. He definitely has to focus. And even his last fight against Lemos, Flowz, his reason for his bad performance was that he wasn't focused. He didn't do weight.
Exactly.
He didn't cut weight properly, and it showed. So obviously, he took this one seriously, but again, there's signs that there might be a little bit of focus, lack of focus in which is not good. So hopefully, he doesn't, he cuts it out.
So look, even I think the summary for our two predictions that we've skills pay the bills. Really, skills pay the bills.
Yeah, man. More time I tend to go for the skills anyway because I like skills. But yeah, skills definitely.
But as well, preparation, of course.
Yes.
We can see Hitchins was more prepared this time. We need that focus because we can't be seeing signs of unfocused, lack of preparation. Because if that keeps up, it's going to cost you. In this division,
at this level,
you better bring your A game, have your corner, nutritionist, all of it, all of it. You've got to prepare to be the best.
And that is, Flowz, that is a lot of the difference between a world-class fighter and, let's say, an elite fighter, Flowz. Some fighters, they go the extra mile. They're paying the extra for the nutritionist, right, Flowz, and for this professional and this and that and this and that, because that's going to give them that slight edge over the opponent. So sometimes it's worth it, man. So definitely look to invest in it. I completely forgot you mentioned Kambosos. He's matching now, isn't he? He's moved up to 140 as well. So because I know him and Tiafimo are going back and forth, and Tiafimo's trying to send him offers and stuff. I don't know what Tiafimo's on. I really don't know what Tiafimo's calling everyone but people in his division. You see, he called out Boots. He called out Boots, Crawford, and Tank. Do you know how mad that is? He's mentioned everyone but no one at 140. That guy's not serious, guy. Not serious at all, man.
Kambosos on Twitter has been killing me.
Kambosos has always been funny on Twitter. Always.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but ever since he beat Tiafimo,
he's actually undefeated on Twitter. I think he's undefeated.
The way he's cooking, the way he talks,
he talks like he's somebody. It's so funny. Like he's really that guy.
I like Kambosos. Look, I've just said he's not at the level of certain fighters, but he's a competitor. And just that people elevated him to a level that he's not quite because he's not quite at that level, and it shows. But him and Paro could be a very good fight.
I mean, that's selling out a stadium in Australia, to be honest, Flowz. For sure.
That could be a very good fight. There's options there. That division is looking stacked. But yeah, shout out to Hitchins, come through it.
Big shout out to Hitchins, Cool, Flowz. Let's quickly talk about Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez, the rematch. I said to one of our mates, right, Flowz, that if it's an on-form focused Navarrete, you're probably going to be in for a treat. I've always liked watching Navarrete, right, Flowz, because of the fact that he's just so unorthodox to where he boxes. His footwork looks off. The way he's throwing punches from all kinds of angles, Flowz, combos from non-stop combos from the most wickedest angles. It's hilarious, right? It's amazing to watch right Flowz. It can be very fluid when he's on form. Obviously, this is a rematch with Valdez. Their first fight was a cracker. Valdez, we know, is a very, very good opponent. Flowz, very, very 1 point world class, no slouch. And just from the jump, right, Flowz, the size difference between the two of these guys. Navarrete is actually a weight bully, to be honest, Flowz, because he's always like he's another one, Flowz, that doesn't look in shape. Never looks in shape. Never looks in shape. And he makes weight, Flowz, and I can tell he puts on the pounds the day after, right, Flowz. He looked huge in there compared to Valdez, Flowz. And every shot he landed, Flowz, looked to me that it was hurting Valdez. Flowz, that was, that was crazy. Yeah. That was crazy. But yeah, Flowz, every shot he landed, every big shot, to me, like he was hurting Valdez. And I feel sorry for Valdez because he's a warrior and he was, giving his best effort. But just the power of these shots, Flowz, were killing Valdez. He got dropped in the first round, Flowz. And then in the 6th round, Flowz, we see it was a very high-paced action fight, Flowz, in typical Mexican style, Mexican fashion. Both of these guys were meeting each other in the center of the ring and just bagging out. But the better of exchanges were definitely with Navarrete, Flowz. That languid, fluid style. He was just finding pockets to touch Valdez. And every time, like I said, Flowz, it looked like he really made Valdez shudder. And then in the 6th round, I think it was a body shot, wasn't it, Flowz? A banger of a body shot that's dropped Valdez and sealed the deal. But yeah, man, I enjoy watching Cowboy Navarrete. He's definitely exciting to watch. But in my opinion, he should move up. But again, he did move up. He moved up and he fought Berencic. And I think he lost by SD, right? It was a split decision. Fight. So it was a close fight. But I definitely feel like that division, Flowz, he's bigger than everyone else. He's a weight bully in that division. So I definitely feel like 135, he should definitely start campaigning there and giving that another go.
Yeah, he's got power as well, man.
Crazy power, yeah.
He dropped Conking Sour as well.
Yep.
When look, yeah, like you say, every shot was hurt. was hurting. Valdez dropped him 3 times.
Yeah, it was actually 3. Yeah, it was 3 times. Yeah, it was 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, good fight though. Shout out to Valdez, showed heart, kept fighting. But yeah, good fight. Shout out to Navarrete, man. Nothing I can say after the
I hear it.
Valdez was the guy at one point.
At one point, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't lie, for he's not been the same since Shakur took his chain, right?
He hasn't. And boy, did Shakur take his chain. Boy. Schooling. But yeah, fair play, Navarrete. Double now with him. Yeah, it is.
Yep. Would you like to see him at 135, Flowz?
I think so. I think so. I think he should move up now. 135 is a good division too, but most of the prospects in 135 are iron 140. Really.
Yeah. 29 now, Flowz. He could definitely give a lot of people problems as well. Just with that awkward style, that language style. Yeah, I'll definitely like to see him at 135, Flowz. I think there's just better matchups there. I think he's done everything he needs to do at 130. As I said, he's fought the Valdez's, he's fought the Constance's. That's kind of the who's who is at 130, right? So move up, man. Move up. Let's see you hang with the big dogs. Cool, Flowz. Just to mention before we end, some fights going on next week. Over in the UK, we have a boxer card headlined by Tasha Jonas. She is fighting Ivana Habazin. I remember her. She fought Clarissa Shields a couple of years ago, I think. But that's to unify the IBF and WBC welterweight titles. That's in Liverpool. So obviously we're going to send our support to Tasha. Hope she comes through that. Expected to come through that. And if she does win, she's likely to go on to fight Lauren Price, who's also on the card, defended her WBA welterweight title. So if they hopefully, fingers crossed, both these ladies come through, Flowz, because then we can get that massive fight between the two, which I think would be great for women's boxing. Also on the undercard worth mentioning is your boy Flowz, Vidal Riley. Apparently he had the rib injury that's kept him out for a while. He's back now, looking to get back on track. This will be his second fight this year, Flowz? think so, right?
No? First or second? Yeah, second. He fought the Wild.
Second, because if he fought on the Wardley card, right? Was that this year? The Wardley Clark card? Yeah, I think that was this year.
Yeah. He fought the Wild.
Yeah.
Beat him. Yeah, this is second. Second fight. Damn.
Yeah.
At least he's got out. At least he's getting out.
Injured, didn't it, for us?
Yeah. If he was, then yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that. So
yeah,
hopefully next year more activity. As simple as that.
For sure. Also got worth mentioning Flowz, MJ. That's Murajon Akhmadaliev is fighting Ricardo Espinoza. Akhmadaliev at one point was one of the best in his division. He lost to Tapales. He was going to go on to fight anyway, but he lost to Tapales. But I think he's trying to get his career back on track since that loss. But also on that card as well, we've got Chev Clark fighting an undefeated fighter for the European Cruiserweight title. And Maxi Hughes as well is also fighting Gary Cully on that card as well. So that's a matchroom card to pay attention to. And then I think finally, Flowz, we've got Jaime Munguia fighting. I think in his hometown in Tijuana. I think he's from Tijuana. But yeah, we got Munguia fighting Bruno Suarez, French fighter. Don't know anything about him. Flowz undefeated, but his resume isn't anything to to sneer at. He was due to fight. Munguia was due to fight Ronald the Fro Gavril. But yeah, I think this is just a simple homecoming fight for him, Flowz. Like I said, it's in his hometown. Probably something just to please the fans over there for years out. Again, I don't really know what the plan is for Jaime Munguia. You're shaking your head. I don't know what the plan is for Jaime Munguia, Flowz. We know he moves in weird. They move him weird, but obviously he's your top rank now, isn't he, Flowz? He's not a golden boy, so I don't know what the plan is with Bob and what they're going to do with him. But obviously he's currently fighting up at super middleweight. So yeah, I guess he will probably do his thing, and maybe we might see him in a title shot at some point. I don't know, but yeah, can't forget Flowz. His last fight, obviously, this is the second fight since the Canelo loss, so he's kind of rebuilding, I guess. So yeah.
Right back to what he does best: step up and then step 5 steps down. He's gonna have 5 random fights now, Flowz, and then he will finally fight someone good. Yeah, man. Funniest record ever, man. Too funny. But to be fair, you could maybe say old school Mexican fighter. They like to fight.
Yeah, it's true. This will be his 45th, 46th fight. So yeah,
just fight a big name, then fight a bunch of new names. Fight a big name, new names. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Shout out Munguia, man.
Cool. I think we can leave it there then, Flowz.
Unless the wildest thing I've ever seen in boxing. Can we even call it boxing? Your boy Tommy Fury.
Definitely my boy. Oh yeah. Oh,
pulling out of a fight because someone threatened him because of trash talk. Trash talk mind games. And he said, I'm not going to fight this guy anymore. We've repeatedly tried to get him to play by boxing rules. Basically, he's scared. I'm happy he was getting killed for this, by the way. Probably the most pussy thing I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. A fighting man from a fighting family, a boxer.
They need to disown him. This is crazy.
They're all part of it. They have to be part of it. They're all involved.
Crazy. And yeah, I'm weighing this up against what we've seen, the mad things we've seen, Flowz. Obviously, we like to go to our usual guys asking not to be made mandatory. We like to what's it called? I'll never forget the Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz one. What are you? You're my mandatory, right? And he said, "What are you?" Shameful. But yeah, Flowz, this is my top there. This is it.
This is the number one.
This is top.
I've never seen a fighter pull out because of trash talk.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But he openly admitted, I'm scared to get kicked in the head. Yeah. That crazy. Tommy Fury, stay over there. You're an influencer boxer.
Flowz, we knew that anyway. Wasn't this on the Misfits card, right?
Yeah,
that's the influencer thing. So we know he's serious. Yeah, he's a boxer. Jake Paul's got more credibility than you. That's crazy. That's crazy.
How can you pull out of a fight because you're scared of trash talk? You're scared. So you're scared by a threat of violence in the ring. You're scared by a threat of violence in the ring. You pulled out of the fight.
Yeah, nuts.
That is insane. Anyway.
Hey.
Bozo of the week.
Yep. Tommy Fury. Calm. All right. 225 is SZN Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Cam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know where to find us. Peace.
You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.